When did you know it was time to divorce? When her parents wouldn't stay out of any of our decisions. When coming home became more stressful than work. When I said, "Baby, I'm home," and she said, "Fuck you." When you regret getting married in the first place. When my wife got drunk and punched me in the face because I told her she was exactly like her mother. We had been together since high school, and after 13 years we just couldn't stand one another anymore. When I found my spouse in bed with another person, after which they didn't bother to say sorry or attempt to hide what they had done, were doing. When I finally found out my suspicions were true. He was sleeping with one of his groomsmen before and during our marriage. He never came clean until someone finally informed me. I pulled the plug immediately and have kept him out of my life. BTW, they stopped being friends, lovers once it all came out in the open. When I saw her straddling some dude from the bar in the back seat of her car. She thought I was home with the kid. When he had sex with someone else. I'd probably still be in that miserable situation if she hadn't chosen it for us. Don't be like me. Recognize red flags for what they are. My friend said it was when she realized they'd become one of those couples sat in silence in a restaurant. They went on vacation and barely had conversation the entire week. She filed a few days after they came home. When I caught wife number 1 chasing the guy out of my house when I came home early. When wife number 2 disappeared for a day every 2 months and stopped sex with me. When wife number 3 after 40 years stopped talking to me for 11 days straight, and when I asked why yelled at me for not understanding why. Never been married. But a general thing in relationships has been that once I'm wondering if we should break up or not. The answer is yes. When my ex started talking only about sex and money. First marriage was when my husband verbally abused me every day until I said I needed a break. I was 7 months pregnant and it was high risk. As soon as I started staying with my mom, he moved a mutual friend of ours into our house. Found her sleeping in my bed in the nude. But, of course, I was the bad wife for not forgiving him. Second marriage was when I confronted him with proof of cheating and he physically attacked me. I was, again, the bad one for not respecting his privacy. Being single almost 6 years now and in therapy. When I realized our relationship was not at all what I expected it to be. And also knowing I would be happier by myself the rest of my life rather than put up with him forever. When the piggy bank was empty. When the bad times outweigh the good ones. About a year and a half after it was time, unfortunately. What a waste of time, money, and sanity. When I started counting the number of good days to bad days as a ratio. Trying to rationalize that it wasn't that bad. I travel for work. Have for a long time. I realized it was time when there would be a fight over inconsequential BS every time I got home. This led me to start asking to stay on the road longer and longer until I finally made the choice to ask for a divorce. Was married 11 years. The last 3 or so were when the fighting was constant. Honestly, I didn't know at any one point. I was in denial. When I found out she was cheating, I thought we could work it out. When she moved out, I thought there was still a chance. When I laid down an "it's either him or me" ultimatum, she promised to try and work things out. But then, as I learned, was still fucking around. That was close. But I still held out hope. I was at lunch with a coworker talking about it. And she said, "You're still in love with her, aren't you?" Yep. Even the day of the court hearing. I wasn't entirely convinced. And she didn't help by telling me, "You never know. Some people get remarried." Took me a while to get to the point where, when someone asked why I got divorced, I was able to say, never should have gotten married in the first place. When it didn't seem like therapy was working. Although I tried to do everything she wanted, she would seriously ask me why I was doing it. Then I basically had to force her to say we were finished. I think she was done but was afraid to be honest.